You tell us if it's time to panic.
Okay.
Or just have a little patience.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get started with Alek Manoah.
Alek Manoah, Toronto Blue Jays. I'm panicking.
Oof.
How could you not at this point? I mean, he was a Cy Young favorite, comes into the league, has been one of the best pitchers in the game of baseball since he's come up. And this year he's sitting at 1-6 with a 5.46 ERA. And for me, the reason I'm panicking is because he almost has as many walks this year as he did all of last season. All of last year. Man, this is a quote. Alek Manoah's most revealing quote from tonight regarding his 2023 struggles. The mindset of don't throw a ball here instead of throw a strike here it's a difference maker. It's a difference maker. Right now, I'm stuck in the don't throw a ball here mindset. And, you know, that this is interesting because I spoke about this before, how Alek Manoah, the walks are alarming, right? And truly, through it's the beginning of June, he has almost as many walks this year as he did all of last season. And to me, the problem starts becoming, is Alek Manoah a good pitcher? Clearly. The problem starts becoming, this is mental. Something mental is going on here because the guy is just missing badly. And, you know, there will be a full count and he'll spike a pitch. He's missing badly there. He has 25 walks in his last 7 starts, a 1.95 whip in those 7 starts. That means almost 2 batters per inning are getting on base, and a lot of those via the walk. This is a big problem with Alek Manoah. And to me, I do believe we've seen the stuff is there. We've seen the pitch ability is there. We know he can be good. To me, why I'm saying panic is because mentally, he's clearly in his head. And as he just mentioned, when somebody tells you, or when you start telling yourself, don't throw a ball here, you throw a ball. When you tell yourself, throw a strike here, you're in a much better mindset. Man, so often in my minor league career, and this is why I struggled to look back on my career, is because there were times where I was very, very good and an all-star and player of the month in the league, and there were times where I was the complete opposite of that. And when I was going poorly, my mindset goes to, okay, I'm 0 for 3 today. I can't strike out here. And then naturally you do. Whereas when you're going well, your mindset is, I just want to get in the box and just throw a pitch in my general vicinity, and I'm going to hit it hard somewhere. And the fact that he's in this mind space right now is the reason that I am panicking about Alek Manoah. This is not good. Walks up. Mechanically, something has to be going on there. And mentally, something has to be going on there as well. But we talked about it in yesterday's show. With one of the segments we talked about, but Smoltz comes on Saturday, and one of the things I do ask him about is Alek Manoah and his struggles so far this year, and as a Hall of Famer himself, what he sees from Alek Manoah going on the mound. So let's check that out.
I remember talking him through the All-Star game, and his attitude and everything about what he did last year just seemed like he had arrived and had confidence through the roof and could throw the ball where he wanted to. And it just seems like, not seeing a lot of his starts, I'm just looking at stats, the walks are way too high. And in this league, when you have the new rules and the walks and the ability to take bases, and it's not the old kind of like slug it, walk, strike out, homer, I think that's a little bit alarming.
Yeah, I think he nails it. And we went on to have a pretty good in-depth conversation there about Alek Manoah and what's going on. So, again, Saturday with Smoltz. Every single Saturday, John Smoltz, the Hall of Famer, joins me talking about different topics from around the league. We talk will a pitcher ever reach 300 wins? But I agree with him on Alek Manoah. I do believe it's mental. And I also think something interesting here, I don't know how much is playing into it. Maybe this plays into the mental aspect of things. In terms of pace for pitchers, he was one of the worst and not worst, one of the slowest in baseball. So now this year with these new rules and you don't have the time to be slow.
The pitch clock.
Where is he with that as well? So I'm panicking with Alek Manoah.
And just to put it into perspective, numbers-wise, from 2022 to 2023, at this point in the season, okay? Last year, he was 7-1 with a 1.81 ERA. 61 strikeouts and 13 walks.
Okay.
This season, 1-6 with a 5.46 ERA, 48 strikeouts to 41 walks.
41 walks to 13 walks at this point last year.
Yes. It's brutal. It's time to panic.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't typically panic. The problem is I think it's also mental, and the game of baseball is so mental, and when you get to a point where it's in your head, which clearly it is, that's where I really start to panic with a player. So panicking about Alek Manoah.
All right. Moving on. Panic or be patient with Sandy Alcantara.
I'm going to be patient here with the NL Cy Young Award winner from last year. Again, the numbers aren't great. They're not quite. The walk numbers aren't as alarming as they are with Alek Manoah, but they are a bit. It's a bit of a cause for concern. Through his first 9 starts last year, 2.11 ERA in 59.2 innings, 7.4 Ks per 9, and only 3 walks per 9. This year, through 9 starts, 5.05 ERA, 2.7 walks per game, 8.5 strikeouts per game. So again, the walks aren't a huge issue for me, which is why this leads me to let's be patient with Sandy. I do believe he's going to be okay. I found the issue with Sandy when I was looking through, when I was getting ready for this segment and how I wanted to talk about him. The big alarming difference this year. Last year, Sandy's changeup was his second most used pitch in his second most used pitch. It is this year as well. It's other than his 98-mile-an-hour sinker, he uses his changeup a lot. Last year, opponents were hitting just 145 off of that pitch. This year, opponents are hitting 327 off of that pitch.
Figured it out.
That is a concern. So he needs to figure out that changeup and what he's doing with it, what he was doing last year, how to be better with it. Maybe he's tipping with it. I don't know. I'm being patient with Sandy. He's a workhorse. He's really good. The walks, he's going to figure all of that out, I believe. So I'm saying be patient.
All right. Moving on to a pair of Phillies. Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber. Are we panicking or are you being patient?
So I think this goes with all Phillies.
Okay.
The team.
All right.
I think I'm gonna pick a different answer here than most people are thinking, especially Phillies fans. I'm saying be patient with the Phillies.
That's what I was gonna say too. So I thought you were gonna panic.
Be patient.
Yeah.
First and foremost, they did this last year.
Yep.
Should I remind everybody where they ended up last year?
Yep.
In fact, they were a good bit worse at this point last year than they are this year. Last year, June 2nd, they were 22-29, 12 games out of first place, and 6 games back of a wild card spot. Right now, they're 25-30, not as bad. 7.5 games out of the division and 3.5 games out of a wild card spot. So I'm saying don't panic because, one, it's the National League, and there hasn't been a lot of teams in the National League that have said, hey, we're going to take this and run. Other than the division winners, really there's some – other than the division leaders and the D-backs, we're seeing a lot of struggling around the league. So the Phillies are just fine. I do worry about Trey Turner, who's hitting 236, and I really worry about Kyle Schwarber, who's hitting 163. This is one of the crazier stats in baseball right now.
Okay.
Over his last 29 games, Kyle Schwarber has 2 singles. 2! Over 29 games. 2 singles. He had 10 hits in the entire month of May. 31 hits on the entire season, which amongst 164 qualified hitters, only 2 have less than Kyle Schwarber. Joey Wiemer and Tristan Casas.
Do you know what Schwarber's batting over the last week?
Over the last week? No.
0.87. 0.087.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, that's bad.
Not good. Be patient with the Phillies. I will even say be patient with these guys. Do I think Trey Turner is going to hit 230 all year long? Do I think Kyle Schwarber is going to hit 160 with 10 hits in a month all year long? No. Kyle Schwarber is probably one of the more streaky hitters in the game. And when he gets hot, he'll hit 10 homers in a week. I'm not worried about the Phillies. It's time to go, but luckily you're in the National League where nobody's really taken those wild card spots and run with it. I'm going to say be patient.
All right. Our final panic or be patient. The Mariners.
So for me, this is a patience, but I will say it is not far from being a panic.
Okay.
They are above 500. Good, fine. But fourth place in the division, a lot of teams to jump in the AL West. That's a bit of a concern. Also, the reason this is close to a panic, clearly they are playing better than the Phillies, right? But two different leagues. So you want to start talking how many spots are available for AL wildcard? Well, there will be 3. Okay? Let's talk AL East for a second. How many teams in the AL East are going to be in the playoffs? 3? 4? How many teams are ahead of the Mariners in the AL West? You still have the Angels, you still have the Astros, and you still have the Rangers. You're running out of room.
Yeah.
You're running out of room. If you let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's look at the AL West only. Maybe they can jump the Angels this year, but the Angels are playing pretty well right now. You have the Rangers, who I do believe are going to be a playoff team. Do I believe they can hold off the Astros? I don't know. But in terms of this conversation, it doesn't matter. Alex, it doesn't matter if which team wins the division. The Astros and the Rangers are very good teams, and one of them is going to be above you.
Yeah.
Then let's jump over to the AL East, where you have the Rays, the Yankees, the Jays, the Red Sox, the Orioles. You have to be better.
Yeah.
You have to find a way to be top 3 of the non-division winners. And we're already in June, and we're running out of room. There's plenty of time, but there's plenty of really good baseball teams. So I'm saying be patient here because I do believe they're a good team. Pitching has been elite. The Mariners ranked 25th out of 30 teams offensively, though, which to me is the big problem. 6th worst OPS, but they are the 3rd best pitching in the game of baseball. So pitching-wise, I think it can carry them, and Julio's heating up.
So when do you start to panic?
Well, you
All-Star
start to
break?
panic post All-Star break.
Post All-Star break.
Post All-Star break. Yeah,
Okay.
when you look at I think you start looking wild card post All-Star break.
Okay.
And that wild card's
That's
not
fair.
going to be a fun place for the Mariners to look.
No.
But Julio
Yeah.
is heating up.
Julio!
That's a big reason why I am saying with the Mariners, be patient because the offense will come along. Julio is coming along. The superstar that is Julio Rodriguez is back, my friends. And that is one of the reasons I'm saying be patient.